Once upon a time in a small town, there lived a girl named Mega. Mega was a bright and cheerful girl, but she had one small problem: she was afraid to speak English. She loved the language and admired how her friends spoke so fluently, but whenever she tried to speak, her palms would sweat, and her voice would tremble. One sunny afternoon, while she was sitting on a park bench reading a book, she overheard a group of children nearby. They were laughing and playing games, effortlessly switching between English and their native language. Their laughter was contagious, and Mega felt a pang of longing to join them. Determined to conquer her fear, Mega decided to approach the group. She took a deep breath, walked over, and said, "Hi. Can I play with you?" The children abruptly stopped and turned to look at her. She felt her heart racing, thinking they might laugh at her. But to her surprise, one of the boys smiled and said, "Sure. We were just about to start a game of tag." As they started playing, Mega felt more at ease. The children communicated so freely, their English flowing naturally. She focused on having fun rather than worrying about making mistakes. They shouted and laughed, running around the park, and for the first time, Mega realized that speaking English wasn't just about being perfect, it was about connecting with others. Once the game ended, they all sat down on the grass to catch their breath. The boy who invited her to play, named Max, turned to Mega and said, "You're pretty fast. Where did you learn to run like that?" Feeling encouraged, Mega replied, "I like to run in my neighborhood. But I'm not very good at English." Max smiled kindly, "You speak just fine. It's all about practice. I make mistakes too." His words made her feel better. He shared stories of how he had struggled with math last year, but with practice, he improved. The other kids chimed in, sharing their own experiences with learning different subjects and languages. One girl, Emma, mentioned how hard it was for her to learn to ride a bike. "I fell so many times, but I kept getting back up," she said. "And now I can ride without training wheels." Mega felt inspired by their stories. She realized that everyone struggles, but the key was to keep trying and not be afraid to make mistakes. They spent the rest of the afternoon talking, sharing jokes, and discussing their favorite books and movies. As the sun began to set, Mega felt lighter and happier than she had in a while. She thanked her new friends for the wonderful day. They exchanged phone numbers and promised to meet again to play. Over the next few weeks, Mega made it a point to practice her English daily. She talked to her family more in English, watched movies with subtitles, and even joined an online English club. Each time she spoke, she felt her confidence grow. One day, she received a text from Max inviting her to a community workshop about storytelling in English. Mega felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. Storytelling was something she loved, but speaking in front of others was daunting. She hesitated for a moment, but then remembered her newfound perspective on mistakes. When the day of the workshop arrived, she took a deep breath and went. The workshop was filled with friendly faces, and the instructor encouraged everyone to share their stories. When it was Mega's turn, she stood up, her heart pounding, but she remembered the fun she'd had playing games with her friends and their supportive words. She shared a story about a magical garden she dreamed of, where flowers could speak and share their wisdom. To her surprise, everyone listened intently, and when she finished, they applauded. After the workshop, people approached her and complimented her story. One person said, "Your imagination is amazing." That night, Mega went home feeling on top of the world. From that day on, she understood that talking in English, or any language, wasn't just about grammar or perfect pronunciation. It was about sharing experiences, connecting with others, and enjoying the journey of learning. Mega continued to speak English every day, making new friends and sharing stories. And as time went on, she realized that talking in English was not only easy but incredibly rewarding.